Hi there, in this tutorial here we're going to be looking at creating a body for our noob. We're going to be using the CAD commands box array and subtract extrude along with some of the other commands that we have learned previously. By the end of this here we need to be able to explain the CAD commands circle, box array and subtract extrude. We want a nice accurate CAD model and obviously we want nice comprehensive explanations of what those CAD commands do as well. So we need to head into Autodesk Inventor. And I've already got opened up. Remember, you can find that under the Start menu under the folder for Autodesk. It's Autodesk Inventor Professional. You might see your previous files here, but you'll need to go up to New to get started in this tutorial here and click the page icon. Just as before, we're going metric, clicking on that there, standard and then clicking Create there. And it's the same environment we've been in before. We're going to head up here and we're going to go File, Save As. And we're going to save this as body and making sure it's in the same folder as your previous, the arm and the leg you made on the previous tutorials. Click save on that there. And then we're going to go up to Start 2D Sketch. Click on the little pencil and line icon there. And now we need to have a go at drawing our body. We're going to use the XZ plane, which is kind of one of the more vertical planes there. So we can click on that there. And now we're in our 2D working environment. Just as before, we're going to draw a rectangle. So we're going to head up to the rectangle tool, use the little drop down arrow below it, and we're going to make sure we select 2-point center there. And again, just as before, we're going to hover over that center point there until it goes green, and that means we know it's constrained to that point. Click there, and then drag out to the top right, and click again to position that before we press escape. Then we hit dimensions. And we want to have, this is going to be, click on the line, click to position our numbers, that's going to be 100 there. Remember, if it disappears off the screen, you can head over to the right hand side here and click zoom all. And it'll zoom out a bit. And we want this one here, we're going to click on the line, click to position our numbers, and then we're going to click enter our dimension, which is also 100 on this one here. And I'm just going to zoom to all to see that finally. There we can then click finish sketch. And we can just zoom out to see that there using our scroll wheel. We're going to use extrude, so click extrude. And this time we're going to extrude a distance of 50, but before we do that, we need to change it to a symmetric extrude. So previously we've been doing direction 1, but this time we want to change it to symmetric. So just below that 10 mil, click on the symmetric first, and then we're going to change that to 50 millimeters, and we'll click OK there. Remember, if you need to, you can always right click on that and go back to edit feature if you need to edit and make sure you've got the symmetric extrude. So there we are. So we've got our symmetric extrude done there. Next up, we want to add a little cut in the top there, which will allow us, when we're assembling our noob, to get our head in the right position. So we're going to go Start 2D Sketch, and we're going to select the top of there, and because we've kind of worked around the center point, we've got a nice little dot in the center there, which is going to help us. So we're going to head up to circle, just click on that there, hover over that green dot in the middle there, that goes bright green, click, and then you can just click again, head up to dimension, then click on the circle, and we want this to have a dimension of 10, so we can enter 10 and press return and hit the green arrow there, and that's us done. So we'll go finish sketch. So nice and simple, got our circle at the top there. Next up, we want to use the extrude tool again. So we're doing a subtract extrude. So we go into extrude, and it's by default, it's extruded a circle up. We don't want that. We want to cut, okay, or subtract the material. So in that middle little column there, if we hover over it, the second one down, it's cut. And we want to cut there. I'm just going to cut for 10, so change that to 10. And you see, you kind of get a faint red cylinder showing on your screen there, over the kind of green bit at the top, and that's showing us we're cutting in. So we can click OK there. And now we've got a hole in the middle. So if I hold down Shift, hold down my middle scroll wheel on the mouse, you can see I've got a hole in the middle top there. So there we are there. So we've got that added. Next up, we're going to Start 2D Sketch again. And this time we're going to draw on the front of our body. And what we're going to use now is what we call construction lines. So we're going to go up to the top here, and there's a little, you can see a little symbol I'm hovering over at the moment. You hover over it, says it's construction. So we're going to click on that there, and then we're going to click on the line tool, and you'll see what this does in a second. I'm going to hover over it, the top of our block, and where it goes green in the middle there, I'm going to click there. I'm going to come all the way down to the bottom, and again on that bottom line where it goes green in the middle, I'm going to click there, and then I'm going to press escape. And you'll notice the line that we've added is a dotted line, okay? And that line is what we call construction line there, and it's purely to help us draw all the features in. So when we come to extrude or cut our features, that won't be visible. It's just there to help us out. So we can then turn that construction off there, and we've got our construction line put in. We're going to go for the circle tool, so up to the top there, and then just kind of towards the bottom of that line there, we're going to hover over it so it goes just going yellow, and it kind of snaps to it, and we can click there, and we'll just drag a circle out. Go up to the dimension tool. I'm going to click on the edge of that circle there, and we're going to dimension that 5. So I click to position dimension there, click 5, and there we have it. Now it's a little bit tricky. We're going to dimension the middle of that circle to this bottom line down here. So I'm going to click on that bottom line first, and then I'm going to hover right over the middle of that circle. So I get that little point in the middle, highlights red. Oops, and click there, and I'm going to make that 15. And I'm going to hit the green tick. So we've got our position circle, that circle positioned, and you see it's gone dark blue. So now I'm going to do what we call a rectangular array. I say kind of creating a pattern. So we're going to click that circle, select it with nothing else selected. Click rectangular up the top here in the middle. You see it's over a pattern. And we're going to click. We've got our geometry, so that's our circle because we have that selected when we select the tool. Click direction. We're going to click on that line, and you can see a faint grey circle has appeared below our circle. So that's going the wrong way. So we're going to flip that using that little flip button there. We want 4 of these, and we're going to change that to 25, and we can click OK there. So that's looking good. Then I can nicely spaced out, and we can click finish sketch there. We're going to extrude these, so we'll head up to extrude, and because there's multiple different areas that we've created, we need to click on each one. Say we want to extrude these out, so click on each one there. And we don't want to extrude that much. Let's try 5. Maybe not that much. Let's go for 2. That looks good there. So we can click OK. So we've got our kind of buttons up the front of his body there, as if he's wearing a shirt. So that's looking good there. I'll just rotate that around, see how it all looks. So I think the only thing we are now missing is our chamfer. So we have the chamfer tool here. We've done this a couple of times before now. 2 millimeters, that's all looking good. So I'm going to do those top 4 edges. So just zoom out a little bit so I can kind of see my 4 edges. Do those. Now I'll do my 4 vertical edges. Holding shift and holding down the middle scroll wheels to rotate there. And then the bottom 4 edges as well. Oops. Remember, if you ever get a bit lost, you can go up to that home button if you hold over the view cube to reorientate and get everything back in view. So there we are, and that's all the chamfers added. Now I want to add a bit of color to this, so I'm going up to default at the very top of the screen, and what we're going to look for, we're going to look for, oh, there's cyan, so it's kind of blue. That looks good there. Now it'd be quite nice if the little buttons have added a white. So what I can do is I can click on extrusion 3, which is when we did the buttons there. I can go back up to the color there, and I could choose a different color. So I could go down, there's loads of colors. You can choose what you want. There's a white, and that makes those white. So just by selecting that feature and then selecting what color we want it to be, and then we can save that there, and that's that complete. So that's our body of our person complete there. Just go back, let's quickly review our success criteria there. So we've got our box array, which was doing our patterning for our buttons there. We've got our subtract extrude, it's when we did our put that hole in the top there. So you're going to need to explain those along with the circle command, which we use to draw the buttons there as well. and I'll leave you to do that now.